Well, good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to the Homestead. Today, we've enlisted others' help again. As you guys know, the 3-point hitch on my tractor has not been working right. I have ordered the rebuild kit for it, but I haven't had a chance to actually repair it yet. My driveway is in bad shape. So I've reached out to our good friend Steve that bailed us out the last time we needed it. Said, hey, how much you charge to come down here and just box blade my driveway, get rid of all these potholes so I get some new gravel thrown down on it. And he said, yeah, I'll be right down. All right, guys, so Steve's tractor is an L4701 with the LA 765 loader. So it is smaller than our 4500 tractor, but not by a whole lot. But the fact it's got four-wheel drive and working hydraulics makes it the perfect tractor for this job. All right, so today, this 2019 Kabota is dragging a Land Pride 6-foot box blade. That should make relatively quick work out of my driveway. Well, it's still gonna be a couple hours. And I'm gonna get Dr. Evil out of the way, just so nothing happens. All right, guys, so Steve has made a few passes already, and I really should have showed you this before we started, but we had potholes all through this. And you can see there's some areas here that are still low where he's not even really digging into it yet. Yeah, so driving through here in the car and the pickup truck, it was just really, really rough and really bad on the tractor. Keep in mind, it has no suspension, so when you hit a bump, it would just throw you out of the seat. It's been a couple years since I've done this. Those of you that watch the channel long enough, you know that when I got that tractor, I used to do this. But now that that 3-point hitch isn't working right, got to get that fixed pretty soon, very soon. But I'm thankful for Steve for coming out here and giving us a hand. And he said he's gonna probably make quite a few passes on this just to really break it up good, and then he'll worry about giving it a crown and pitching everything right. But it already looks 100% better now than it did like 20 minutes ago. Now, the reason he was zigzagging is because I told him last time I did this, my tractor doesn't have those stabilizer bars to keep the 3-point hitch straight behind your tractor. So what was happening is, as I would cut grooves, and then the next time coming through, I'm trying to get grooves cut in an area that I didn't cut, but because it would swing, it would always find that low spot and fall into those grooves. I just kept digging the same grooves over and over again. So I resorted to going back and forth is the only way I could think of to get good coverage, and I would just start at different points. That way at some point I would have it pretty much all broken up and not just have these almost slot car tracks that I was forcing it to go through. So he's like, yeah, I'll give it a try. So now what we had just done is, after he made a couple of passes, he pulled up some of the larger rocks. And we want to get them out of the way because they always cause a problem when you're trying to actually get the driveway flat. They'll dig gouges and everything in it. So we kind of walked the driveway afterwards and threw them all off to the side. Now the plan is we're going to bring more gravel in, but the nice thing is once we get more gravel in here, we're going to build up a thick enough pad that we will never dig down into the big rocks again, hopefully. But it's just, this has gotten worn over the years. I've had it top dressed in the past before, but with just clean gravel, the problem is that stuff just got pushed right in. So we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna come back and hit it with more road base, crusher run, and just build a really good solid base. And I'm gonna do it pretty thick this time. I'm gonna spend a little extra money, get a couple extra loads, and just put it on really, really thick. And that'll help in some of the areas with drainage, because I got some areas where it doesn't drain right because the ground next to the driveway is higher than the driveway. So if I build it up, I can create that swale in between them to give the water a place to run off instead of sitting on the driveway.
Bad spots and start working in one area. This area is not too bad.
Okay. Yeah, as you see, as he comes down here, we pick out the big stuff, throw it off to the side, just so it doesn't mess up the mix later on. So before Steve got here, I was actually out here working with our tractor. And what I was trying to do is get rid of some of the scrap metal that had been put into the burn pit. So I got this pallet on here. Some of it I just reached in there and picked up with the forks, but some of it was small stuff. So I threw that pallet on there so I could just carry the stuff back and forth. So if you look here, just a lot of scraps, like where couches and car seats and stuff like that have been thrown in there just to burn off all the fabric. And then the metal chassis that are left over, we needed to dig out of there. And I don't remember if I recorded it before we went to Ocean City, but I finally got this rubbish pile here to actually light and burn. So we've got it down considerably, but you see how far out it was, and we burnt all that in. So I wanted to get all the metal out of this area so that I could then switch back to the bucket on my tractor and just kind of push everything in more towards the center and get this a little bit more compacted. I did run into an issue though, and it hurt. So I was over this way picking up debris and garbage there, and I stumbled across this. And I'll see if I can zoom in while staying far away. See a little hole right there with the nest? Yeah, well, I found them on accident. So as I was standing there picking up trash and debris, they started stinging my ankles and my legs. Probably got stung 4 or 5 times at least. So I, obviously I ran away from it. I didn't really run away. I just stepped back a little bit and saw them swarming. I don't have anything here really to kill them at the moment. So we're just gonna put that on hold. And even pushing some of the stuff, I don't want to get it up on top. I want us to be able to burn this, but I want the pile that we're gonna burn, the burn pile, to be more compact. It had gotten so big with all the tornadoes last year and all the debris. And keep in mind, I still got logs and logs and logs that haven't burned. I mean, I've still got stuff everywhere that I haven't gotten to, but this was just getting too big. So yeah, I want to push it, but we're still pretty wet over here. This is where I got the tractor stuck last week, and it's still pretty damp over there, even though everything else around here is dry. So I'm okay on this part of the yard. I can't go over there. Maybe I'll have him do that while he's got the Kabota here, because he'll be able to get in there a lot better. It's a lot lighter tractor, and it's 4-wheel drive. I just noticed some chicken wire here. I'm gonna pull out of here, and I think I just saw another piece of steel laying in there somewhere too. Get all that, get it out of here. It's a pretty butterfly. Oh, where'd you go? Yeah, I found it. See, it's like a little short piece of rebar. That's a tractor tire popper right there. So I want all this stuff cleaned up out of here before I try to push all this stuff to the center. Well, and I thought I'd break the mower out and knock down some of these high weeds around it so I can see a little bit more of what we're doing over there. If you remember, before I went to Ocean City, I ended up using the bush hog to mow around the yard where we keep Goliath parked and over at the shop, because Talon said that this thing was vibrating really bad when you turn the blades on. So I just fired it up, drove it out of the garage, running fine. I initiated the blades. Sure enough, it shook like crazy for about 5 seconds, and it threw a belt. So we got something going on there. I don't feel like laying on the ground. So what I did is I drove it over here to the tractor. I'm gonna use the tractor to pick up the front of it so that I can just gonna look down in there and see what's going on with the blades, because I'm lazy. And while I got the equipment, might as well use it. That's an easy way to get underneath it. Well, other than the blades being dull and worn out, nothing looks broken. All of the bearings and the spindles feel pretty good. Nothing feels loose. Not sure where the vibration was coming from, but the belt is absolutely destroyed. Looking here, you can see that, yeah, there's not much left there. Tensioner has gone loose. Yep. Definitely need a new belt, so we're not using this mower today. So what puzzles me is that we've gone through a number of belts on this in recent months. Something is going on that's causing the belts to fail prematurely, and I don't know what that is. Everything looks good from here, but I may just have to pull the deck completely off of it, throw it up on the bench, and really go through it. But unfortunately, it's, you know, mid-afternoon on a Saturday. There's no place in our town where I'm going to go get a belt today. So this project isn't going to happen. I just noticed that deck wheels are missing too. Both of those. The two are on the other side, but these two on this side are completely missing. Not good. So back in the garage it goes. Now Talon said that Zach broke the belt on that mower the other day too. So we have 0 mowers now. And my grass really needs to be cut. All right, so I resorted to the string trimmer and I went around this whole area and cut down everything I could. We had some larger pieces I just pulled out by hand, knocked the dirt off on my boot and threw it in to the top of the pile. But that one right there, that one's actually almost a tree. I can't pull it out. I'm gonna have to go grab a shovel and pry it out or something. But I did come across more metal. See, this is why I was doing this. I don't want to get here with a tractor and run over stuff like that. It was a big old chunk of metal. I found another piece that I'd already thrown over there on the pile as well. That was a big piece, but it was so intertwined with the grass and the weeds that you couldn't see it, even though it was just sitting on top of the ground. It was just buried by the overgrowth from this summer. So at least now I can kind of see what's here. There's still a lot of ruts here from when we were cleaning this up with the skid steer and with the tractor, where when it's been a little bit wet, the tires are kind of sunk in. The problem is those ruts, they hold water for a longer period of time than the sloped part of the yard does. So I kind of need to get in here and at least try to fill the ruts and pack some of this down a little bit better. It won't be as soggy the next time it rains. So I just grabbed my skinny trenching shovel. I'm hoping that's enough to get under whatever small roots there are from that lone tree and get it dug out and just throw it up on top of the pile. I was being really careful weed eating because I got near that nest again. Like I said, I haven't killed them, so I just watched them. I got real close to them. They didn't come after me. Ooh, stepped in a rut. They didn't come after me this time, so I still got to deal with it no matter what. Well, I got it. Easier said than done though. And I think my shovel handle's broken. I'm getting a lot more flex out of it than I used to. So I think somebody tried to pry something with it and they broke it. You know, and the more I work out here, the more I'm finding the remnants of burnt, charred logs and branches that have kind of got covered up with grass and weeds and dirt over the last year because this pile was so large. And as we burnt it down, it got smaller and smaller. The grass started to take back over. So there are parts where like there were just sticks sticking up through the ground. I'll get out here with the tractor and clean it up. But first, we'll put these tools away. But we'll go check on Steve and see how he is doing. All right, as I walk back up here, looks like he's done a great job at getting it all broken up. Now it's just a matter of leveling and smoothing it all back out. Get rid of all these piles. was out back working. You can see that Steve had changed. He pulled the scarifiers up, so now he was done digging, and he's in the process of just smoothing everything out, taking out all the high spots and making it nice to drive on. Well, I forgot to record for a moment. I'm actually up at the Lowe's now. I'm gonna go ahead and grab something to take care of that underground hornet's nest or yellow jackets, whatever they are. Truth is, I didn't look that close. I don't care what they are, but we're gonna put something near the entrance there. I did a little bit of online search, and it looks like there's a product called Sevens that works really good. 24 hours, the nest should be dead. So we're gonna do that, then head back out to the house. But I kind of wanted to take a break anyway, so the drive into town gave me a moment to relax. So that's the right brand, but not the right product. That is liquid. What I'm looking for is a powder. Gotta keep looking. All right, got it. It's a powder. That should work. I'm gonna go get some wasp spray while I'm here too. Halloween stuff's out. And we got a Mickey mummy. All right, so we are back out here now at the homestead. And I'm gonna try to sneak up on this nest. Now it's evening time. There should be less activity, less in and out. And I'm just gonna try to get like a teaspoon or two, maybe a tablespoon's worth of this insecticide powder right at the entrance to their lair. Whoa. Yeah, right to the entrance to their nest, and see if we can't get them to track in and out of it as they come and go. So I can see the nest. Well, I can see the entrance anyways. Now I gotta try to sneak up here and not get them to attack me. So I'm gonna test a little bit, see how this stuff comes out. Yeah, I don't think I want to stay that close to it. I'm gonna take this cap off so I can get a little bit more volume. All right, so I've got it to where the powder is just at the edge, and I'm gonna try to sneak up here. See, there's their hole. You can see them flying in and out right there. All right, that should be all that it takes. All right, so as you can see, when they come in and out, they don't really fly in and out of the hole. They kind of land and then they crawl in and crawl out. Each time they go in, they're taking a little bit of that insecticide with them. And well, they should basically poison the entire nest on their own. At this point, they don't know they've been poisoned. They'll probably know soon enough. Well, as you can see, for the most part, the driveway is smooth. It's no more potholes in it. I mean, it's a gravel driveway. It's not smooth like asphalt, but it's smooth enough. But one thing I wanted to do where he wasn't able to do with the tractor is along some of the edges, you see I got this little bit of a ridge, just a little bit of a pile where the box blade kind of built up a little bit. I want to knock that down because there are some spots on this driveway that are low, and that may create a dam and stop the water flow from wanting to come off. So I'm just going to go by with the rake. It's all loose. I'm just going to go by with the rake and rake it inwards so that it puts the gravel back where it needs to be and doesn't create that dam so the water can flow off downhill like it needs to. Definitely a two-handed job. We'll be back with you in a minute. So as you can see, I'm just taking away that little bit of a ridge. Get areas here where, the driveway stops here. Well, this falls down into a hole. Now that water can run to that low spot rather than getting trapped up here on the driveway, creating puddles. Same thing over here where it runs into the little creek. Now we've got plenty of room for it to fall away down to the basin. All right, so it took a little bit going down the whole driveway and dragging that into the low spots and back into the center, but we got it done. And yeah, I said some of the low spots. There are still a couple spots in this driveway that are low. There was one little groove along this edge that I raked all that stuff into. I still don't think it was enough to fill it level, but also where I'm standing is a complete low spot in the entire driveway. So water runs down off of that hill and gets down here by the gate, but then it starts to pitch uphill a little bit right here as it makes the curve. So this area tends to stay really wet. Now the ground drops off over there, so as long as we get it pitched good that way, it'll run off. We got a little bit of a drop off on this side, but not much. So I think we need to put a little bit extra heavy through this area, try to level it out so it stays on a better grade to get the water to run off the sides and not puddle in the middle, at least until we get closer to the creek, and then everything kind of runs off into the creek pretty easy. Now, I have reached out to Sammy. He lives around the corner from me a little ways. He's got a big dump truck. He's been dump truck driving for a long time. He also watches the channel. And he said that Monday or Tuesday, maybe he'll be able to get out here and dump a couple loads. Not for sure yet, but we're hoping that that's the plan. I did talk to him before we left for Ocean City, and he agreed with me that it was really important to at least get the potholes dug up and get it relatively flat before he arrives. So while we were doing it today, I sent him a text message letting him know, hey, it's getting done today, so at your earliest convenience, schedule me in. So hopefully we'll get that done over the next couple of days, and then this driveway project will be done for a while anyways. And it'll be really great if we can get those loads of gravel in here before it rains again. That way this doesn't hold any more water. It's still fresh. Then we can run the tractor down to pitch everything properly. And my plan is that if he's going to tailgate it when Sammy gets here. So if he tailgates down one side of the driveway, turns around and tailgates down the other side, his truck is wider than half of the driveway. So there's going to be an overlap in the middle. So no matter what, the middle will end up being thicker than the outside edges. That will leave me a start to a good crown. And then all I have to do is just shape it a little bit better. And I can do that with the tractor bucket if I had to. It's much easier with a scrape blade or a box blade, but I can with the tractor bucket if I need to. Well, guys, it's now just about 7:30. The sun is on its way down. It's actually a beautiful night, but I think we're gonna call it quits for the day here. I actually had a delivery today. Got a whole bunch of thrash and supply parts that I gotta check into inventory, and then that way we don't have to do it when we get to the show. So I'm gonna go take them in and get them checked into inventory, but we're done for out here. So again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Tell all your friends. We're trying to grow this channel as well. And until the next time we see you, keep those engines running.